drawing is going to be isoline 8 here, this I-beam that's cut off at a 45-degree angle. Usually we look at these and we say, hey, what's the most interesting sign? Well, this probably is the most interesting sign, but it doesn't really relate to the drawing. It's only done after it's cut off. So probably the easiest way to do this is to imagine what this would be like in the back. Um, I think that's the easiest way to draw it. It might not be the easiest way to imagine it, but that's how I'm going to go about doing it. So that plane back there will correspond best with this plane here. Then I'm going to try to stay in the positive regions as best I can. And this is a 1.5 by 2.5. I'm going to make a rectangle like that. Hit R for rectangle. Anchor it to my 0, 0 point. It's 2.5 tab 1.5 return. Alright, so it's a little small. Okay, so what is this slot that's cut out of it? Well, it is 3/4 and 3/4 there on the end. So 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.25. 2.5 minus 1.25 is 1 and a, sorry, I was wrong about that. 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5. 2.5 minus 1.5 is 1. So that the height is 1. This distance says 1.5. I'm sorry, gosh, 1/2 typical. That means that it's typical here and here, the same. And we have the same flange here and here. So that gives me all the information I need. So I'm going to hit R for rectangle, anchor a rectangle here, and then it wants to know what's the depth. Well, I figured that out. The depth is 1. And then I'm going to hit tab, and the typical is 1/2, and return. I'm going to put another rectangle over here. Doesn't matter where I put it as long as I anchor it to that sign. And here I'm going to say the depth is 1, and the x dimension, sorry, y dimension was 1, x dimension is 0.5. It has it already. Tab and enter. Sometimes you kind of get lucky. Return. Okay. Whoa, that doesn't look right. Well, yeah, it doesn't because I'm not done. And I'm going to put in some dimensions. This is 3/4. That says 3/4. Okay. From here to here, 3/4. So dimension, there, there, and 0.75, tab, or enter, I mean. And then here, and here, and 0.75, enter. Okay, now I have my I-beam, and I'm ready to extrude this out from there. I'll finish the sketch, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say, hey, I want this to come out this way. So extrude, E for extrude, and it says how long do I want this? 4. Okay. Distance. It's highlighted, so 4. And then that looks good. Certainly not done yet, but I'm on my way. I'm saying okay. Now I'm going to create a new sketch up here, and that's where I'm going to get my cut to cut that off. All right. So I'm going to go to right click on that spot, and I'm going to say create sketch. All right. Now that point is right here. All I need to do is say I need a line at a 45-degree angle. I don't know how long this is. I don't care. I think I could figure it out, but I don't care. So what I want to do is go to line. Well, I want to do a construction line because I really care about the angle. So I'm going to say, here it is. Make sure that that's a construction line. Then I'm going to run this long, and then we can see that that angle It's 45 degrees. And if it was a different degree, this probably we'd have to do a little something something in there, but that's going to work for us. So I'm going to hit, um, I don't care about the length, tab, 45, return. That has given us the correct angle. I think I was wrong on that. Sometimes they do the opposite end. But that was good. Okay, so 45. And what I want to do is go from here to here. So I'm going to set a point just to be careful. Say a point here without construction. This probably is not necessary, but sometimes it's better to be careful. And then I'm going to draw a line, hit L for line, and then go to there, and there, and that's all I did for that sketch. Now I'm going to hit finish sketch. I'm going to go to, I always try to do any extrusion, that type of thing, in the three-dimensional, well, usually an isometric view. I'm going to hit E for extrude. I'm going to pick that triangle. I'm going to say, I don't want to go that way, I want to go this way. And the distance, I don't want to do a distance, it's easier just to cut through the whole thing. So I make sure that's a cut, say OK. All right, now I'm going to go back to home. That's exactly like this. And I'm happy. And I am going to save this as isoline